Serbia is located in the Balkans and is famous for its rich culture and history, its superb architecture, in particular its Orthodox churches, Belgrade Fortress, which offers views of the Sava River meeting the Danube, tennis icon Novak Djokovic, scientist Nikola Tesla, and being the largest exporter of frozen raspberries. Serbia currently ranks 61st on the worldwide list of the countries with the most McDonald's, with an estimated 37 outlets. This is my experience of trying McDonald's in Serbia. Welcome to the Serbian edition of Trying McDonald's. Upon research, I noticed that the oldest McDonald's in Belgrade was actually relatively close to the hotel where I'm staying, so I thought I've got to check this out. And you walk past there, it's quite an idyllic building. It's not what you associate with a McDonald's outlet. I don't know exactly how many years old it is, but I've got a feeling not only is it the oldest one in Serbia, it's potentially one of the oldest, if not the oldest one in the whole of the Balkan region. So quite an historic site. So even if maybe you're not a huge fan of McDonald's and you just like a bit of history, some nice architecture, it's pretty worth swinging by that building because it is quite impressive. However, because it is an older building, it doesn't have any touchscreens in there, so it's an old school venue where you actually have to go up to the representative and place your order that way. I must admit, I am someone that does prefer the touchscreen dynamics. It gives you an opportunity to sort of flick through all the options, and there were a couple of things that I hadn't seen before. I'm going to get the pronunciation wrong, so I feel like a Planinsky burger. It did look intriguing. It looked like it was beef based and there's some other elements in there. However, I did notice there was 3 jalapeno pepper symbols next to it, which would signify that it's very spicy. And I don't mind a bit of spice, but I'm not a huge fan of food items that just absolutely knock your socks off when it comes to spice. So I thought I'm going to swerve that one, though I was tempted. I did notice there was a vegetarian offering. Now, in the UK and a lot of parts of the world, there is what's known as the McPlant burger, which is a patty that resembles beef, that tastes a bit like beef, that isn't actually beef, it's 100% plant-based. They do have a vegetarian offering, but it's not the McPlant, it's a veggie burger, and then looking at the picture, it looks like it might possibly be lentil-based. It certainly looks different to the McPlant burger, so I thought I've got to give this a go. Got it here, standard packaging. Open it up, and it's, first thing, it doesn't look premium, shall we say. It doesn't have a brioche bun or a bun with sort of, different coloured seeds on it, poppy seeds, different coloured sesame seeds. So it looks quite back to basics. When you open up the lid, you can tell it's nicely toasted, which is great. We got the standard, I assume, mayonnaise. Now, of course, this is a veggie burger rather than a vegetarian burger, so it could just be regular mayonnaise. Of course, technically mayonnaise does contain eggs, so if you're vegan, you'd have to substitute some of the ingredients to come up with a vegan mayonnaise. Slice a tomato, then we have the patty. Interestingly enough, there is nothing underneath the patty. Now, quite commonly, particularly when you're getting sort of like a new burger or a premium burger, there'll be something else in it. It could be like an additional salad item, it could be an additional condiment. So it's looking a little bit minimalistic, but of course the key point is, how does it taste? What I would say is, it's a little difficult to pinpoint the exact ingredients in this burger. It could possibly be some form of mushed up beans in there. I think I can see a little bit of vegetables in there. Maybe I've got certainly some green stuff in there. It does seem to be actual vegetables and beans in there rather than some sort of reconstituted attempt at a meat substitute. Because that's one of the criticisms of sort of vegan and vegetarian food. A lot of the times they're trying too hard to make it look and taste like meat. And it looks like it isn't as heavily processed. It looks like it is. I can see vegetables in there. It does taste nice. I like the coating. I don't know if that's a bread crumb base coating, but it's a nice little bit of crunch in there. Soft in the middle. And I do like the thickness of the patty. So that's another criticism sometimes at McDonald's, is that with their burgers, the patties are very, very thin. This one has got a decent amount of thickness to it. So it is quite substantial. So like I said, it's not the most flashy burger. It's quite simplistic. but it works quite well. So I'm actually quite enjoying this. They do have a McCafe outlet within the actual McDonald's, and it offers lots of interesting and tasty looking dessert options. Lots of different types of cakes. And one item that did sort of seriously tempt me was their tiramisu. It's described as, I think, Magnifico tiramisu, which I assume translates as magnificent tiramisu. And that, that's talk about backing yourself. If you describe your product as magnificent, it's got to be good, hasn't it? So I admire the confidence. I was strongly tempted. However, I am a sucker for a McFlurry, and they do have their own take on the McFlurry. There's quite a lot of products available with something called plasma. And having done a Google search now, plasma is a type of soft biscuit that was introduced in Serbia back in 1967. So it's been around for nearly 60 years now. So generally speaking, if something's been around for that period of time, it must be good. But does it work in a McFlurry? We were about to find out. I thought it was going to come with some red syrup, but actually you do get a choice. So I think the red option was a strawberry-based dessert, but they also offer a chocolate or a caramel-based dessert. I thought to myself, well, biscuits and caramel could be a winning combination. So I've gone for the caramel syrup with this one, with the pieces of plasma biscuit in there. Standard container here. I like this spoon as well. You know, sometimes you get these dinky little spoons, but this one's a more robust spoon. So if I was doing a review of the spoons, we'd be onto a winner here. Let's see what the taste is like. I'm trying to pinpoint how I describe this biscuit to maybe a more well-known biscuit sort of in the UK or the US. I'm trying to think, where does it sit on the paraffin of McFlurries? It's probably not going to be in my top 5, maybe top 10 McFlurries of all time. But it is nice because, you know, biscuits and caramel, you can't really go wrong with that. But I don't know, I just thought because this biscuit had been around for 60 years, it was going to be an absolute classic type of biscuit. So in the UK, you've got things such as the Digestive and the Hobnob, which are just, you know, just classics, aren't they? And maybe if I had a biscuit on its own, maybe I'd appreciate it a little bit more. But I think for me, it's good, but it's not super memorable. And there's a big shopping mall nearby, and I just passed through just to see what was in the shopping mall really, and I noticed there was a McDonald's outlet within the shopping mall, and it was quite a small one, but it did have touch screen, so I took the liberty to flick through the different options on this one that I just checked with a Rosti in it. So looking at the picture of it, it's very interesting actually. 8.40 dinar, so that's a fair old whack. That's got to be about sort of £6 just for the burger. Just got the burger on its own. And the interesting thing with this is you open it up and the bun is very unique. I haven't seen a bun like this before. It looks like it's got melted cheese on there and possibly bits of bacon in there infused in there as well, so that's going to be very interesting. So to quickly walk through the burger, like I said, big diameter, so that means obviously bigger bun, bigger patty, bigger other innards as well. So in addition to this very unique bun, you lift the lid up, you see there's condiment on there. It looks like it could be mayonnaise, it may not be. It's not white. Mayonnaise is commonly white. It looks kind of almost a little bit of a tinge of a yellow in there, so maybe there's a mustard or maybe it's a unique type of sauce, because a lot of burgers like the Big Mac have their own unique type of sauce. 2 rashers of bacon on there, no, 3 rashers actually in total. And then we've got this large decadent looking potato rosti. If you've ever been to somewhere like Switzerland, you know rosti, when it's done well, it's absolutely delicious. And then beneath the rosti, I think we've got a layer of cheese that's sticking the patty together. In terms of salad, it's not looking great because there isn't any salad in there at all. It's a real decadent burger. Not the healthiest of burgers, but let's see what the taste is like. It's a taste of Switzerland in Serbia. That rosti is absolutely lovely, exactly what you want. Crispy on the outside, sumptuous little chunks of chopped up potato in between there. On top of that, you've got the saltiness of the bacon. You've got a rich sauce. It's difficult to tell the sauce on its own because there's so many big flavours in there. Then you've got that melted cheese beneath the rosti, and of course potatoes and cheese
It's a classic combination. You can't go wrong with that. And then you've got this big slab of beef. It's a nice burger. The only thing I would say, because there's so many big, powerful flavours in there, maybe some people would say there's too many big, powerful flavours in there. I wouldn't say the most prominent flavour in there is actually the beef, even though it's a decent sized patty, but because you've got the cheese in there, you've got bacon in there, you've got that rosti in there as well, and you've got this sauce as well, it's kind of, there's no real one flavour that dominates. Just try the bun, because obviously the bun's very unique with the cheese, and it looks like there's sort of bacon in there as well. That's nice, a sort of melted cheese in there, the little bits of meat in there as well. If you want something a little bit different, you're tired of the standard sesame seed bun or the brioche bun, you've got something a little bit different in there. So how would I summarise my McDonald's experience in Serbia? Obviously I've kind of dabbled in two different outlets, the sort of historic, grand, old building, which is done in the old school way. You go up to the cashier and place you all of that run. I've done the more modern one in a modern shopping mall, touchscreen, and I think it's been more hit than miss. Both the burgers I enjoyed. The veggie burger was certainly a step away from the McPlant burger. You can see there was like clear vegetables within the patty, crispy on the outside. Didn't look anything special, but it tasted good, and that's the main thing. Obviously the deluxe burger, not only did it look impressive and look unique, it tasted really good. Like I said, the only real criticisms would be maybe sort of a lack of salad items in there, and maybe just possibly too many big powerful flavours in there, but still it was a decadent burger and an enjoyable eat. Only slight disappointment was the dessert. I am a sucker for a good McFlurry, and I don't think this was, unfortunately, the best one. I had pretty high expectations when I've heard that this biscuit had been around for about 60 years and it's a sort of a staple of Serbian tradition. But I don't know, I just found the biscuit pieces a little bit bland, and it didn't blow me away. But, you know, 2 out of 3 isn't bad, so on balance I think I can recommend this experience here of trying McDonald's in Serbia.